Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show. This is the manager show, and standing in for Mike Coombs, who you just saw, is the pitching coach for the Newport Gulls, Kevin Long. And Coach Long, we are in the grind. Thank you for coming on. We are in the grind here of this season, 10 games left. And from a pitching perspective, it's a lot different with this staff this season as compared to last season. There are still a couple of injuries, I know, but a completely different mentality from the pitching staff last year to this year.
You know, every year you get a different bunch of kids coming in. It's not like you're at college where, you have a lot of guys returning. Last year we had a couple of starters that really stood out, but last year our bullpen was really stellar last year. We had Armand Rugal and we had Mark Uberman from USC, and they basically carried the brunt of the big pitching at the end. This staff this year is still developing. We had guys come in later than usual because they were in deep postseason play, and they're just getting used to pitching at this level.
Does that affect when a player comes in late from any team? Does that affect how your game plan is for the season overall with the pitching staff?
Well, sure it does. Obviously you want to see him pitch for a few times. You want to see what his preparation process is, and again, what you can do to help him get better. A perfect example is Rubenthal from Vanderbilt. They went to the World Series, and here he is, and he started 2 games. And, the first game he pitched pretty well. The second game was rough. But, after he pitched in the second game, we sat down and I brought to his attention some things he needs to consider, and he's going to make some quality adjustments. He'll be pitching on Monday.
Now, when it comes to the grind of the season, the last 10 games, and we go right into playoffs, does anything change as far as the approach or the game plan for your pitching staff going into these last 10 games, knowing it's going to roll right over into the playoffs?
Yes, it does. I think, next week will be the last week of really stretching out our starters. We'll put them on a pitch count, and we'll start aligning them, for postseason play. Mertz is going to get his last deep start tonight. Next week, he'll pitch. He'll be on a pitch count. Same with Brody and maybe Hawk and some other guys. That's the way to go with that.
Now, talk a little bit about Colton Hawk. Last night in Danbury, he spun up, threw his bullpen, was ready to go, and then the game gets banged out. It's happened to us a couple of times here this season, but does that affect the starter, especially when he knows, hey, I'm going today, gets all amped up, and then all of a sudden the game's taken from him?
Well, maybe the first time it might affect you, but what I try and do is point out the positive for him. Instead of having him pitch tonight, we're moving him back until Saturday. So he has ample time to do additional work or get additional rest, because he did do a big-time long toss, did a big-time bullpen, and he was all amped up. So you just want to make sure he's removed from that and refocused for his next start.
Now let's talk about the start of tonight. Michael Mertz, who you just said is going to be his last real long start of the regular season. He had an amazing performance against New Bedford about a week and a half ago. 13 strikeouts, scattering 2 hits. Obviously, we're not expecting a repeat performance, but what are we expecting out of Michael Mertz today, who is really for all argument's sake, one of, if not the ace of this staff?
What do I expect from Mike tonight is this, like every game a pitcher pitches here, is just to get better, okay? The score will take care of itself. He's going to concentrate on winning every pitch, and doing the best he can to give us as many innings as he can and get his guys in the dugout as quick as he can, and he does that very well.
You just said the phrase that I've heard you say a couple of times, winning every pitch. How important is it to win every pitch, not only for the pitchers, but also the fielders and the defense?
When you have a game plan to win every pitch, it makes it simple and you stay more focused. A lot of players, they worry about the score and they worry about the end, instead of taking care of, pitch by pitch, inning by inning. And if you learn how to approach the game that way, it becomes much more simpler. You're less distracted and more focused.
Thanks very much for sticking with us, Coach Long. We'll see you tonight.
Thanks, Bob.
Good luck. The Newport Gulls take on the Sanford Mainers here tonight at Cardines Field. Interleague play, a very important game for both squads. The Newport Gulls pregame show will continue next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.